Imagine you're standing on the deck of a massive ship in the middle of the ocean. There's no land in sight. No GPS. No radar. Just endless blue water in every direction. Now imagine someone asks you a simple question. How fast are we moving? Today that's easy. A digital screen gives you the answer instantly. But hundreds of years ago, that question could mean the difference between reaching your destination safely or disappearing into the ocean forever. And strangely enough, the answer involved a rope, with knots tied into it. That's where the word knot comes from. When you hear that a ship is traveling at 20 knots, it doesn't mean ropes are flying around the deck. It's actually a unit of speed. But why not just say miles per hour, or kilometers per hour? To understand that, we have to travel back to the age of exploration, when wooden ships crossed dangerous oceans guided by stars, instinct, and clever problem-solving. Back then, sailors faced a serious challenge. They needed to know how fast they were moving to calculate how far they had traveled. Without speed, there's no distance. And without distance, navigation becomes guesswork. If you miscalculated, you could miss an island by hundreds of miles, or crash into unseen reefs, or run out of supplies before reaching land. So sailors invented a brilliantly simple tool called the log line. Here's how it worked. They took a long rope and tied knots into it at equal intervals. At the end of the rope, they attached a small wooden board, usually shaped like a quarter circle. This board acted like a drag in the water. When they wanted to measure speed, they tossed the wooden board overboard. As the ship moved forward, the board stayed relatively still in the water, and the rope began to unspool. Now comes the clever part. Another sailor would flip a small sand glass, typically 28 seconds long. During those 28 seconds, they would count how many knots passed through their hands. If 5 knots passed before the sand ran out, the ship was moving at 5 knots. If 10 passed, it was 10 knots. Simple, mechanical. No electricity, no math equations. Just rope, wood, and teamwork. But here's the detail that makes it genius. The knots weren't spaced randomly. They were placed about 47 feet and 3 inches apart. That very specific spacing, combined with the 28-second timer, made each counted knot equal to 1 nautical mile per hour. Over time, sailors stopped saying nautical miles per hour. They just said knots, and the term stuck. Now here's where things get even more interesting. A knot is not the same as a mile per hour. It's based on something called a nautical mile. Unlike a regular mile, which was designed for land measurement, a nautical mile is based on the Earth itself. It represents 1 minute of latitude, one tiny slice of the planet's curvature. That equals about 1.852 kilometers, or roughly 1.15 regular miles. Why does that matter? Because when navigating across oceans or through the sky, you're not moving in straight flat lines. You're moving across a curved globe. Using nautical miles makes calculations with latitude and longitude much easier and more accurate. So 1 knot equals 1 nautical mile per hour. And suddenly, that old rope and sand method makes perfect sense. As technology advanced, ships replaced log lines with mechanical devices and later electronic sensors. These measured how fast water flowed past the hull. But even when the tools changed, the unit didn't. Knots remained. And then something unexpected happened. Aviation adopted it too. When airplanes began flying long distances, they faced the same navigation challenges as ships. They needed a speed measurement that worked seamlessly with latitude, longitude, and global charts. Miles per hour didn't align perfectly with geographic coordinates. Knots did. So today, when a commercial airplane cruises at 480 knots, it's using the same basic unit sailors created centuries ago with a rope and a wooden board. That's the incredible part. In an age of satellites, digital dashboards, and advanced navigation systems, we're still using a term born from sailors standing barefoot on wooden decks, counting knots through their fingers. There's something poetic about that. Every knot counted back then represented progress, survival, discovery. It meant the voyage was moving forward. It meant hope. And even now, when a captain announces the ship's speed or a pilot reports airspeed, they're echoing a tradition that began with human ingenuity and necessity. The next time you hear 15 knots or 500 knots, remember, it's not just a number. It's a connection to explorers who crossed unknown oceans without modern technology. It's proof that simple ideas, when designed cleverly, can outlast centuries of innovation. All it took was a rope, some knots, and the determination to measure the impossible. And somehow, that simple solution still guides us across oceans and skies today. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into history, be sure to subscribe for more stories like this one.